Autumn on your Sunday, and we just have just a little bit of a Sunday lineup, and we're going to touch a few different points, and we'll see what happens. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Black Spring with Autumn on your Sunday. And we are having what I'm calling a Sunday lineup. So thank you so much for tuning in. And for those of you that are considering tuning in, thank you so much for the consideration. But of course, before we get to a couple of points of interest, I'm going to be doing our usual housekeeping and saying thanks to our loyal patrons and, of course, the subscribers and the viewers like yourself. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Thank you so much again for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Now we're going to do this a little bit. I have some things, of course, some liners and some points of interest for you, but also, we'll kind of keep it a little bit casual. And it also means that, if you guys want to pick up the phone and if you want to chime in on any of these topics, of course, you'll be more than, welcome to do so. So eventually I'll put that out there for you, but I just want to tell you what we're kind of pivoting on, the points of which we will be pivoting on in this segment. We're going to have a couple of liners, at least one liner from the New American that kind of talks about a professor that actually endorses authoritarian governance as a means to combat, you guessed it, CC, that's climate change. And then on the Golden Coast, you have Governor Newsom. He's back and he's activated the Guard, apparently, to support the CV-19 testing capacities. We're also going to we haven't visited with our humanoids or our robot friends in a while. So we're going to have a look at the CES 2022 and some of the advances being made there. And also we're going to hear from Justice Thomas on some of his arguments regarding the treatment of this CV-19. So just a couple of things, nothing too lengthy or too crazy. I want to say hello to Jermaine G. Thank you so much for coming in, Jermaine G. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon to you. So we'll get started first. I think as a little bit of what I'm going to call a palate cleanser, we might have a look at the developments amongst humanoids. In the past, we've talked about Hanson Electronics, of course, Sophia, those developments. And I've also, I've solicited quite a few times, for you guys to give us or share with us any type of, robot sightings or an army of Sophia that may have landed in a port near you. So we'll start with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. It looks like Jermaine G has a question. Jermaine G says, you don't go on IG anymore. Well, I don't have I will say that I don't have a actual presence. I'm not having much of a presence on IG. And I thought about trying to do more with try to do some live streaming from IG. And that might be something that I might tinker with. Right now, I'm more just between here, Black Spring Mobile, and I guess just the Discord build is where I am. And hello to Joseph Francis Byrne. Thank you so much for all that you do, and welcome in. Thank you guys for giving me the sound check. I needed that. So let's go over to what I'm going to call I kind of want to go over to visit a little bit with this humanoid development, and you guys can see some of the advancements there. A little creepy, but it's where we are. We've talked about this before. So I kind of want to go there, but then also I wanted to share the story with you on what's happening, in California, as well as, some of the arguments heard, the SCOTUS hearing on mandates and et cetera, et cetera. So let's go. We're the magic bag. Let's see where we're going to go first. How about we start with, let's go ahead and start with the robot. How about that? It's Ameca, the humanoid, is where we'll start. Looks like even the New York Post took some interest in this particular appearance shown at the CES 2022. And that is the Consumer Electronics Show. And that's the largest technology fair on the planet. So we'll have a look at that, as well as some of the interaction with this particular robot. As well as the New York Post, I'll give you some of their insight on this particular moment, I guess, in humanoid history, I guess is what we're going to call this. So I'll just kind of put that on pause for you. And we'll go there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in on your Sunday. I know I seem to not thanks. Okay. So I'm going to let this robot introduce herself. I guess we could start out there. Just giving you an opportunity to see for yourself is what I want to do. So we'll start with that one first. And then we'll go into, so we'll see what they're saying about it. Just really quickly, Jermaine G says they're going to upload our mind into those robots. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the introduction of Ameca, and also, we'll see more than that. So we'll start with that. So we're going to kind of bounce around a little bit on this segment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please give me a 5x5 or a 10x10 or whatever if you cannot hear, or if there's any, volume issues with this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you the full screen on this. Now, this is the New York Post, and it says here, meet Ameca, the humanoid robot that is terrifyingly realistic. I'm going to let her speak for herself. I won't read you the quotes there. I'll give you full screen here, and then we'll go from there. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for the scale. All right, and here we are.
My name is Ameca. A-M-E-C-A. Have I won the spelling bee?
Are you happy today?
I am not happy. I do not experience emotion, but I can look happy.
And inside Ameca's head there are 17 motors.
I wish you luck. Oh wait, what if you are the illusion and I am real?
Okay. Well, I just wanted you guys to see that. And I'm actually going to be dropping the link out here And so that you guys can share any kind of robot sightings that you've seen, whether this is, of course, we appreciate you being able to share the receipts, so to speak, or the actual, site where you've seen these items or entities. But even if you haven't, that's fine as well. So I'm going to read a little bit of something from that. So I don't know, maybe I can replay that one again. But I find her last statement pretty disturbing. Maybe you're the illusion and she is real. You see where we're going with this? Okay, how about one more time for that, and then we'll get into some of the verbiage. We'll get into some of the verbiage on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And hello to Joseph Francis Burton.
My name is Amica. A-M-E-C-A. Have I won the spelling bee?
Are you happy today?
I am not happy. I do not experience emotions, but I can look happy.
And inside Amica's head there are 17 motors.
I wish you luck. Oh wait, what if you are the illusion and I am real?
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I have a couple of comments here. Joseph Francis Burton with, pardon me, the name is Omega. Okay, he says. And then, hi, John H. Roberts Jr., who says, she reminds me of one of my aunts, cold, robotic, and no emotions. And Joseph Francis Burton goes on to say, these tech shows always make me want to unplug and roll around in some compost. Agreed. Jermaine G says, I remember the robot the man made of his dead black wife. Oh, interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go into actually a liner that comes from Xinhuanet. We're going to go into that and have a little bit of verbiage on that and see what they're saying about. I assume this is out of China. I assume it is. So we're going to go there just for a second. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So let's go. We'll switch. We'll switch the gears here. And we'll go to the next one. Okay. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in on this segment. So in this one, we'll give you a little bit of verbiage, I guess a little bit more on the actual event. I guess it was a North American, a release here. The source is Xinhua, I assume. Xinhua. I don't want to say Xinhua, but here we are. Okay, so I'm going to share this one full screen with you so you have some context here. All right, according to this, the humanoid robot of Amica shown to public at CES 2022, which was what you just saw, Las Vegas, United States, January 8th, Xinhua, Britain's engineered arts humanoid robot Amica made its first contact with the public at the 2022 Consumer Electronics Show, CES, this week, the largest technology fair on the planet. During the event, a large crowd gathered around to watch Amica almost every second and interacted with the robot, whose facial features are surprisingly vivid and emotive. Amica can not only respond to visitors' questions with no more troublesome than Alexa, Amazon's cloud-based AI voice service, available on hundreds of millions of devices, but also responds to conversations with proper recreated expressions. Amica has teeth. Amica's body is all metal and plastic. Its face is deliberately genderless and non-human gray. Come on, guys, help me out with this. I want you guys please give me a definition for non-human gray. And why not throw in the genderless for me? It has 17 individual motors inside its head, controlling its movements and expressions. Despite dazzling spectators with the eerily lifelike expressions on its mobile silicone face, the robot is still unable to walk. According to the company, walking is a challenging task and it is in development plans. Amica blinked its way into public consciousness in late 2021 when a video of its facial expressions went viral on social media. Elon Musk responded to the video with one word, quote, "Yikes," end quote. This isn't the first hauntingly humanoid robot Engineered Arts has released. For the past 4 years, the company has been creating a line of lifelike Mesmer robots. Besides Amica, Hong Kong-based engineering and robotics company Hanson Robotics designed and released in 2016 a similar humanoid robot, Sophia, who was named the United Nations Development Program's first innovation champion in 2017, becoming the first non-human to be given a United Nations title. Quote, "The main use case is for humanoid robot right now is entertainment, communication, and interaction with other people," end quote, explained Engineered Arts Director of Operations, Morgan Rowe, in his video. Quote, "Amica is the pinnacle of what we can do. We didn't make her exactly like a human. We designed her as we envision robots of the future." So there you go. That's what you're being told. That's what we're being told right now, that she's not, that she has a limited capacity. But I think we all know that there is a greater, I think, intelligence, or that they are probably seeking to improve the emotional intelligence of these robots, and that they will be serving, there's an entire, AI Bill of Rights, in the works, or amongst technology. So I don't think it's going to stop with just communication, or, I don't think it's going to be a marginalized, they're not on some kind of, marginalized mission. No, I don't. I think the walking will be something they'll get pretty quickly. So yeah, they're saying, it's limited to entertainment, communication, and interactions with other people. So I think they've already contradicted themselves there, because Sophia, for one. Hi, Backyard Politics. Thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And you have a great Sunday as well. Sophia is already serving on certain committees, and I think she's a passport holder. She's a Saudi passport holder. She's a global citizen. So even if that particular company out of Hong Kong is not using these robots at this point, or humanoids, for more than entertainment or communication or whatever at this point, I don't think they're going to stop there. That is not something that I can be convinced of. And I'm pretty sure you guys are abreast of what's going on as well. Or that there's room for it. There's going to be expanded, there's a greater goal there. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the Golden Coast. And Joseph Francis Burton says, "Will Amica and Sophia be our SCOTUS?" I don't know. They're going to great lengths to make sure that they are, genderless, and that they are, it's the transhumanism, movement. It's challenging what it means to be human. They're challenging that. And Schwab talked about that in his trend, in his Fourth Industrial Revolution book, in his primer. They don't like you saying, they want you to repeat, what's on the minds of these people. But that's, he's already said that. And I remember I remember quoting it long ago, last year sometime, or earlier than that, because I had read that, and they struck it out. They edited that particular comment that I made inside of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to another segment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll take you to the Golden Coast. right. Thank you guys so much. We are going to be having a look at a liner out of the NBC Bay Area that's going to tell you about Newsom's announcements and what he is doing. And I think it's probably contributing to more of the, dare I say, the fleeing, the fleeing of California. But he has a plan. He has another plan to spend more money, and yeah, he's all about testing and this kind of a bit. So we're going to go to that story. So this is going to come out of the NBC Bay Area.com, where it's Governor Newsom activates the California National Guard to support the CV-19 testing capacity. Now, I will say, I gave a little bit of a brief on a report that came out of, I think, the Atlanta area probably a week or so ago, in which there was a company that was actually distributing test home kits at a pop-up site. And in that particular report, one of the managers was saying that the attendants supporting that effort were being spat or spit on while the cars were in line. They were being held at gunpoint. Just all kinds of, I said this mass hysteria that's going on. And I'm not sure if these people are double juiced or triple juiced, or I don't know where they are in that progression. But it just seems that you really have that little confidence in what you have so little confidence in what you're doing that you're just rabid and you are irrational, and I talked about that, is that what we're going towards? Is that what we're talking about? When people speak of, apocalypse and that kind of bit. And somebody here gave me a great reference to look up the word zombie to find out, some of the origins of that. So we'll have a look at that. But let's go to that story first. Of maybe the Guard will be able to sway, or I don't know, can they tame the mass hysteria on the Golden Coast? I don't know, but it's like, you created this, you created these monsters, deal with it. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry for them, for the people that are working and the people that are, it's not good, but they've created it. They've created the monster. What are they going to do about it? I don't know. Arm up. I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to go ahead and go into that. And I want to thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. It's nice to see you guys. I'm going to probably put a link out here after I post this one. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. So here before you have a Governor Newsom activates this California National Guard to support the COVID-19 testing capacity. Okay, this is here quoted as the NBC Bay staff and the Associated Press. It was published on 7th of January 2022 and updated on the 8th at 12:28 a.m. So let's go ahead and have a look at that, and then we'll dig into some of their verbiage for more reinforcement, or see if there's more support in this in the text here. All right. Hi, Eric Chenault. How are you? He says it's when you're bluffing at poker and push all in. Okay, here we are. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Now to that announcement from the governor's office. Some of those long lines hopefully will be getting a little shorter. The governor now deploying California National Guard to testing sites across the state. The goal is to get more people tested for COVID faster. The video his office shared with us tonight. You can see members of the California National Guard arriving at a testing site in Antioch. This is at the community center on Lone Tree Way. Now, on Monday, that site will be able to double the number of appointments it offers each day. Not just Antioch, additional sites in Contra Costa County, as well as Alameda, Santa Clara, and Napa, will also be receiving help from the National Guard. More than 200 personnel will be deployed to 50 community testing sites overall. The governor says, make those appointments tonight. If you need one, we are here to help you. On our website, we have a long list of the testing sites across the Bay Area. Check it out. Go to NBCBayArea.com. Click on the tab in our trending bar.
At 11.
All right, so there you can see the efforts that Newsom is rolling out, which is not the end, because of course there's going to be more money. He's going to be asking for more money, and I think about $2.5 $1.4 billion. So I'm just wondering with, with that faction, with that ilk in government, are they those particular areas, are they trying to be sure that they're serving communities, hard hit communities? I'm surprised they didn't put that on the front of that report, or at least I'm sure he's going to make a case for, oh, we're going to just try to support all of the people, the non-white persons, because I think that's the new term. I did say the other day, I do think that they are getting closer to, they're washing the blackness away, and pretty soon they're going to be able to tell people, they're going to be telling their people there is no racism, because it's a non-white or Hispanic. We've erased all of that. So you won't be associating, yourself with that. I think they're going to erase, that's going out the window. And pretty soon they're probably going to tell you there is no such thing as black and white. So, they're able to convince people, certain demographics of people that are attracted to all of their social garb and their Marxist, ideologies. They're able to do that very well. And so I'm thinking they're going to erase your struggle, your blackness, they're going to erase all of that and just make you a non-white person. And in fact, they're plugging it into the algorithms and the AI as we speak. So I'm not surprised. I just think that Newsom is, he's going to get more tyrannical, unfortunately, I believe. I think it's only going to get worse from there. You notice that they talked about, if you need help, it's there for you. Well, there's also this theory about post-pandemic stress disorder. So I'm wondering if that's going to, if they're going to somehow, try to plug that in, or start creating programs based on that. Because even in the Georgia area, in Atlanta, they are piloting programs there's a pilot program for people to receive, like $500 a month for 2 years, or a lump sum. There's another program in which they're going to give children of people of color, certain people, a lump sum of money. So they're going to be given a lump sum of money versus $500 a month, to see how that goes. So you see how we're on the verge of, we're getting so far away from, it's turning into the nanny / welfare state is what they're shaping up right now. And it's all being done under the auspices of, safety, and it's all working. It's working out the way they want it to, I think. Let's see. Eric Chenault said they want us all to be gray. Ever heard of the Kalergi plan? No, I have not. I have not. I will look it up for sure. Joseph Francis Burton says, be careful. I recently made a video where I said testing should be reserved only for those so sick they are in hospital. YouTube deleted this video and gave me a strike. Well, you know what? I'm going to take my chances. I cannot, there's only so much covert language that I can offer at this time, and I've pretty much kind of maxed out on it. I'm just saying, are you being sensitive to are you checking all the boxes, for your agenda? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, and they might. So maybe this is a public service announcement for them. You go out and find your testing site, or they're here to help. What is it? They're from the government, and they're there to help you. So I'm sure he'll reach his target. I don't think I will thwart any of those efforts. But I hear you without a doubt. Eric Chenault said, Joseph's, they don't like it when we make sense. I know. I caught that, by the way, Joseph Francis Burton, that they were, lining up. I didn't even get to show that, where the people were lining up at the pop-up tents or whatnot. Yeah, I know the facilities are closed. Like, there's obviously nothing else going on in the world. There's no other afflictions in the world right now. So you got to be. Don't. They basically close the facility and just have a big line wrapped around all the buildings for testing right now. That's what's happening. It's almost like they've almost closed the pharmacies just to do that, just to focus on that. Eric Chenault says the scariest words according to Reagan. Yeah, I think they were giving us a heads up on a lot of things. So we're gonna have one more. Actually, I meant to put this link out to anybody that's interested in chiming in, because we are coming in at a whopping 31 minutes and 47 seconds. So if you'd like to tag in and pick up the phone, the link is there for you to do so. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick little break and come back, and we will hear a comment from the SCOTUS, from Justice Clarence Thomas on the mandate arguments that were heard. So we'll go there. We will be right back right after this. right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and hello to Steve Willis. I hope you're doing well out there. So we're going to go to another liner, or I might have another clip that's concerning the humanoid, and I want you to be able to see the interaction between the humanoid and the human being, and we'll see. You can chime in on that if you so wish to do that. Just give us 1 second here. So I'm going to get through the commercial here and I'll show you this. I meant to show you this in a little bit more consecutively with what we were doing, but I'll go ahead and show it to you right now. Okay. So according to this, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you, and then we'll hear we have just some remarks from the SCOTUS hearings and the mandate arguments. And it will come from Justice Clarence Thomas. But before we do that, we're going to digress for a second. We're going to go back and have a look at Amica's interaction. And this is from an RT. The robot grabs the researcher's hand. So we'll have you look at that really quick, and then we'll finish out. And like I said, I have the link out there if you wish to chime in on any of the wonkiness in the world. And I hope you guys are doing well out there. So we're going to share this, and I will put make sure you guys have the full scale and the sound. Let me know if you have an issue, and I will do my best to clear it up. So here we are. This is Amica in another setting. So here we are. Okay. That was quite brief, but let me show you that again. What does this particular interaction remind you of, whether you've had the experience or not? I'm going to play it one more time. All right. So according to this, the robot grabs the researcher's hand as it enters their personal space. So we're going to go here right now one more time. Okay. All right. So there, what you could see was, if I'm not mistaken, it was almost like, how many times in your life have you been given instructions to follow my hand? I mean, could it be, was it like a test for, was it the beginning of a breathalyzer test, or just, just to follow your, just, I guess, just a sensory, or, a sensory, test, or, something that a doctor would give you. But I don't know. I'm not convinced that these people are only creating these robots for entertainment and communication. I am not. I'm really not. So I really appreciate it. But that was Amika again. So Amika has made 3 appearances on this show today. I think you guys are satiated by now. So we'll keep an eye on her, as well as Sophia. Sophia has Eric Chanel said DUI, stop. Yeah, so she's getting the test before, But yeah, so we're gonna keep going here. So I think you guys may be aware that there was a hearing regarding the mandates, SCOTUS hearings, and we will have. I'm going to show you some of those comments from Justice Thomas, and let you hear from him on one of his questions, and I will round it out. There is a link out there for you if you are interested in joining before the close of this stream. Yeah, I mean, we're not short on anything. I'm not getting into too many things political. I may make a comment after this, but we're going to go ahead and share Justice Thomas's comment when it comes to mocktails and the fight, that's going on here. So we'll see. We'll see who's going to hold the line. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm going to share this with you, but I'll read it for you first. This comes from therecount.com. According to this, Justice Thomas hearing arguments on the vaxxer test mandate, asked if the mocktail is, quote, the only way to treat COVID. So, I think we all kind of know we kind of have an idea, but let's just hear from him first. And then, of course, if you guys want to chime in, of course, you guys remember the therapeutics and the things that were mentioned initially. And we've gotten so far away from that now that I'll just be quiet so we can go on from here. All right. Thanks so much.
This probably doesn't go to the dispositions matter, but is a vaccine the only way to treat COVID?
It is certainly the single most effective way to target all of the hazards OSHA identified, both the chances of contracting the virus in the first place, the risk of infecting other workers on the work site, and with respect to the negative health consequences, that vaccination provides protection on all of those fronts.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are following this or if you actually watched any of the additional or the full C-SPAN covered. I think it was this Friday. I do believe that this was taking place. But the thing about it is, no one has been allowed to question, these bureaucrats or these elite. Nobody has been able to do that. So I just find that, that this is that we've kind of like what is science anymore? Is it them making things up as they go along? It's very dogmatic. To me, it just seems like it has not been able, that question that he asked is like many other parts of this whole thing. It looks like it hasn't really been able to stand up to any type of method or what we learned and, as a scientific method. I'm not a virologist or a biologist, or that's not my domain of competence, but We've heard it touted. We've heard the mocktail being touted as the greatest achievement in mankind and all these things. But even, I've said this before, even the greatest achievements, those are usually reviewed by history. Usually reviews tells whether something is the greatest achievement. You don't jump on it in real time and know that soon that it's the greatest. You don't. It's usually something over time. Even a victory, any kind of victory or achievement is usually, history ends up telling, how big of a win or how successful something was. I don't think we have enough, not only information, but we don't have enough. I don't think we have enough. We don't have the data. They've got the data and you don't have access to it. We can't even get the data, I don't think. And if you're constantly changing what it is and moving the goalpost, every time there's the point of incrimination that comes up, they start changing the definitions. And what is it? If I'm not mistaken, they're saying it's going to take 50 plus years for them to even release. That doesn't sound, if you can project you need that long, surely it's premature to be calling this anything close to a greatest achievement in mankind. I find it, bizarre. And not, like I said, it's not my domain of competence, but I just think that, I've said this before, you've got people that are not, everybody is functional illiterates are criticizing people for not being scientific enough. But yet these are people that probably didn't even pass, they don't have a scientific background either, but they're judging you for your decisions. Eric Chenot says 55 years. Yeah, that will remain to be seen. And even the greatest achievements can stand up to peer review, and it can stand up to data. It can stand up to things that went well. You can be debriefed even on the greatest achievements, I think, in mankind. And yeah, you can still be debriefed on that. You can talk about things that went well and things that didn't go quite so well. But I don't know. I just don't take medical advice from bureaucrats and presidents sitting or past or present. No, I don't. Not even posthumous. I don't. So I really appreciate it. And hello to Tyrants Bang TDOA. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Cybertoxin. Cybertoxin says that true vaccinations does provide that protection. That's why they had to change the definition. See? Yeah, they're kind of words matter, language matters. Yeah, there you go. You got to keep changing. You can't let anybody catch up to you. You don't let the grass grow under your feet, right? Because you just can't, right? It's about the science, right? Okay. Eric Chenot says 55 years will ensure that the ones responsible for this will be dead and can't be held accountable. Swing with the light bulb there. Thank you for that, Eric Chenot. I really appreciate it. So I don't think this is not going to go anywhere anytime soon, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and for tuning in to the Black Spring Mobiles, because it seems like during the Black Spring Mobiles, I'm getting into things that are a little bit in real time. I try to catch them. I mean, none of this stuff is kind of grows cold. We always end up revisiting a lot of these issues, and they're not going to go away. So yeah, and hello to Risen Ability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'm going to come back and say hi to everyone, and I'm going to get out of here because we do have a link out there for anyone that's interested in chiming in on any of the humanoid interactions, any of the mandate arguments amongst the SCOTUS, Newsom activating the guard. Newsom activating the guard. So we'll see what happens there. And I will be right back right after this. guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do want to say hello to everybody that joined us for this segment. Okay, before I do that, looks like I have a comment from Reasonability. He says on the 12th, they are having a hearing on whether or not to detain health threats here in Washington State. Also, whether or not to add the jab to the list of necessary jabs for K through 12 students. Oh, very interesting. And you are in the state of, you're in Washington State. I don't know why I didn't know that. Hi, AZ Infidel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And Reasonability says, my daughter will not be attending public school, but they're already started hiring for the quarantine camps to detain, quote, health threats. Wow, that's very interesting, Reasonability. Hang in there. Yeah, I would love, I don't know, do you by chance have a liner on that? That they started hiring for the quarantine camps to detain health threats. And see, I'm also wondering if Newsom's guard activation is going to morph into something like that. Because it seems like we saw evidence that something like that was going to occur, not just, Newsom, but just overall that we were seeing. It seems like through the DOD, or there was something that we saw earlier last year that showed that there was an announcement for that type of, detainment. They were looking to fill vacancies in that capacity. So that's very interesting. AZ Infidel says teachers union. Wow. Yeah, I have no idea. That's very disturbing. But I want to go to the top. I do have a link out there. I'll put one more link while I'm saying salute to everyone. Just want to make sure I'm not missing, because it's kind of probably far back in the, maybe a little bit far back in the post here. Reasonability says it was on the Washington State employee website under job listings, and it's not the teachers union. It's the Department of Health and Government. Jay Inslee pushing the authoritarian mandates. Well, climate change is the next, and that was something I was going to get into, but I'm not going to do that on this particular segment. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Reasonability, and hang in there. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and good for you. Good for you. Jermaine G, I want to thank you so much for coming in and for all that you do to support us. And you guys, please don't forget about Discord. Please don't forget about Discord. It's Black Spring Now, and that's hashtag 7666. We don't need to have that conversation. I already know. So yeah, Black Spring Now. I do post there. In fact, I'm probably going to be able to I might have to dig a little bit deeper and get into some of these other things and other topics. Shout out to Joseph Francis Burton. I know, I'm throwing caution to the wind over here, but that's so exhausting. In fact, it gets to be, even this whole CV-19, this conversation is so boring right now. I just think we just need to call it for what it is at this point. It's quite boring. And, that's all people are talking about. Because it's, we're so far away from making, I don't think anybody feels safe. There's more hysteria, more mania than ever. Like what we're 700 something days in, right? I don't know if you feel safe or, I don't know if you trust what's going on. Joseph Francis Burton, thank you so much for tuning in and for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. John H. Roberts Jr., thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Backyard Politics was here. Thank you, Backyard. And Backyard, I've been tuning in. It's nice that you had Rob the Ranger on. That's very good. You guys check out Backyard Politics. I tell you guys all the time, it's not a growth stream, but, check everyone out just to see what happens. You never know. Eric Chenault, thank you so much for coming in. He had to leave, but thank you. It was nice to see you. It's been a long time. Who else? We have Steve Willis was here. Hi, Steve Willis. Hope you're doing well out there. It's nice to see you. And it is a new year. I kind of say that with I try to proceed with caution when I say that. It's just like it's a new year. It's an old year with a new twist. I just want to say that. Cyber Toxin is here. Thank you, Cyber Toxin, for coming in. I appreciate it. Tyrant Spain TDOA. Thank you so much for supporting us, Tyrant Spain TDOA, and for being around. Thank you. And check Tyrant Spain TDOA. He also has a Discord server. So if you want to share that, it's not just the Discord servers that I'm asking you guys to share. If you want to drop your own link, if you have content on your channel, you do that, as well as put your Discord link in. So that is free game, free game. I don't care what they say. Just drop your link in, drop your channel link in, and drop your Discord link. You can do that every stream. Just do it. I only ask that you do it one time. Do it one time. Do them both whenever you want, but just do it one time, and that's fine to share that. Just do it once. Just to remind everybody. We still support each other. It's, to me, important to do. Risen Abilities here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. AZ and Fidel, thank you so much for coming in and supporting like you do. And thank you, AZ, for posting the Discord. I usually I'm posting more things there rather than on the community tab. But if there's anything relevant here, I'll still post on the community tab. Oh, by the way, I think there's an event that's coming up, and I don't want to let this get by. I don't want to let this one get by, you guys. There's going to be, I think you guys remember Patrick from Citizens for Free Speech. There is an event that's going to be held this week. I think it's Thursday. It's going to be a town hall meeting. I don't know if we could watch it together. It's going to be on, it's a propaganda kind of a bit. It's a exploring propaganda. You can join. There's a live streaming event with Patrick Wood and the journalist Alex Newman and Joshua Phillips. Alex Newman is pretty fantastic. He's from the JBS and writes for the New American, but he's an international correspondent, and he actually is out there in the trenches. But there is a national town hall that's going to be Thursday on the 13th, live on Rumble, and they give you all of that. So you can RSVP. You can have your friends come over and watch. I don't know if we'll have time to do something like that here, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. So I'm going to click on it and actually put the link in there for you right now. If you're interested in that, you can RSVP if you have time to see something like that. Great. If not, and if we can do it here, we'll do it here. So here's the link for the town hall. And it's kind of a hack for propaganda or whatnot. So, and Patrick always has great things. He's very knowledgeable. And I think he's still writing for Epoch Times and at least one other publication. But, he's been on our show here before. So I'm confident that you're getting quality insight and good information, good source of information there. Okay, so you basically have a little bit of a synergy there between the JBS as well as CFS. It's nice that they kind of linked up. They're two great writers. I think Alex is really, really amazing. So check that out. You can RSVP if you're interested. I've shared those brochures before. If you're on Patreon, I may put something else over there. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn on the Sunday lineup. I know we hit a lot of points, but it's good to see you guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So I look forward to seeing you guys around. Of course, during the week, sometimes I do the Black Spring Mobile, which, we kind of get into hot topics or hot button issues of the day. I have not been doing a whole lot of things on the political realm. I know that one of the buzzes has been, was it Ted Cruz and his use of the word terrorist in his explanation or in his synopsis on the J6th. And I know that's been a piece in the buzz. And I've even, I don't know, I've heard a rumor about there may be another showdown number 2, Trump versus Clinton. I'm sure that would be entertaining, but I don't know what your guys' interest level in that is at this point. I'm hearing a lot of names for 2024, but I haven't really, I've kind of taken a little bit of a back seat on some of these political things because it's just been left such a nasty taste, in the mouth, and just what I say. Shout out to Tyrant Spang TDOA. I went from the Neapolitan pill to the clear pill, so I just kind of wanted to. I'm aware of those issues, aware of those buzzes and that rhetoric in the background, but it's more important, I think, to hear from the people. And and we'll try to do that on People's Pendulum over on Black Spring Now. But you guys have a great Sunday, a great rest of your week. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in the next live stream in the comment section, a video, a moonlight stream. We might get back into those. Some just hanging out, and you guys can talk about whatever you want on there, short of the Kool-Aid in name. Or either Black Spring Mobile. So you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much for tuning in and for supporting.